It was an emotional meeting on Capitol Hill today. Governor Gary Herbert and Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox met with members of the state's minority communities. The governor now vowing to make changes after protests calling for racial equality and justice. Fox 13's Ben Winslow has the story you'll only see here.
What would you do if your brother was shot for just going on a jog? What would you do if your father had his throat crushed by the people who were sworn to protect him?
The governor, lieutenant governor, and cabinet officials heard from Utahns who shared their experiences.
I've learned a long time to deal with racism.
7 years. I couldn't even get an interview.
And calls for meaningful change.
Nearly a dozen people have been killed at the hands of police officers in the state of Utah. We need to change that.
Saturday's violent protests and the ongoing demonstrations for change forced the meeting, where many commission members and community activists say they've made recommendations that have been ignored for years.
Education, housing, employment, criminal justice, health, both physical and mental health, all of those things are there, but we're still here experiencing the same disproportionality as we did 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
They called for reforms.
I recognize the responsibility.
The governor was moved by what he heard.
I have an awesome responsibility being the governor of this great state, a governor of all the people.
He promised change.
We certainly can look at reforms that are necessary to our law enforcement, our police.
Now listen, Governor, we've had these conversations before.
Commission members say they will hold the governor and others to it.
Call your legislators to say that Black lives are being impacted in a negative way based on policies that they are endorsing. So what we will do is simply do pressure. What we will do is simply show up. What we will do is simply say to all who will listen and hear that time has come for change, and we are going to hold you accountable.
The governor says he wants to see concrete action, and he took a lot of notes in that meeting. He's promising a follow-up with the group in the next 30 days. On the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.